In the ancient world, a warrior faced an impossible choice. Carry light and move fast, but surrender your power at distance. Carry heavy and own the battlefield, but be broken by the mountain long before you reach your target. 2026 just ended that argument. Carbon fiber cured in aerospace autoclaves. Titanium actions machined to thousandths of an inch. Barrels engineered to hold zero after shot in brutal backcountry conditions. Sub-minute of angle accuracy in rifles weighing under 6 pounds. These are the 5 rifles that changed everything. This is your list for the 2026 deer season. Choose wisely. Coming in at number 5. There is a reason the original X-Bolt became one of the best-selling hunting platforms in America. Browning did not reinvent it. They sharpened it into something the serious long-range hunter can actually trust. The X-Bolt 2-Speed arrives at a street price of $1,559.99. At that number, nothing on this list touches its combination of modularity and raw mechanical reliability. The foundation is the VeriTech composite stock. 2 interchangeable grips ship in the box. A traditional sporter grip for the stalk. A vertical pistol grip for the moment you go prone behind a bipod and start dialing yardage. That geometry shift is not cosmetic. A vertical grip forces your trigger hand into a mechanically neutral position, eliminating the lateral torque that ruins precision shots at distance. Length of pull adjusts from 13.125 inches to 14.125 inches. Comb height adjusts independently. Your eye hits the optical center of that scope every single time. The receiver runs Browning's X-Lock mounting system. 4 screws per base instead of the industry standard 2. Under sustained Magnum recoil, standard 2-screw bases walk. X-Lock does not move. The bolt throws 60 degrees. 3 lugs. Fast enough to cycle without breaking your cheek weld. Strong enough to handle anything you chamber. The deal breaker. At 6.69 to 6.75 pounds, this is the heaviest rifle on this list. If your season involves serious elevation gain, that weight penalty compounds with every vertical foot. But if your ground is flat and your shots are long, $1,559 has never bought this much precision. Number 4. There is a specific kind of hunter who chambers a .300 Weatherby Magnum. He is not interested in manageable. He is interested in absolute terminal authority at a distance where other hunters have already put their rifles down. The Mark V Backcountry 2.0 Carbon starts at $3,049. The Titanium Action variant climbs to $3,599. Every cent of that price tag is justified by 2 engineering decisions that have no equal in production rifles today. The first is the BSF tension carbon barrel. Most carbon barrels wrap fiber tight against the steel liner, trapping heat and destroying your point of impact after the 3rd shot. Weatherby's system loads the carbon sleeve under mechanical tension, leaving a 95% air gap around the steel. Ambient air flows freely around that liner like a cooling tunnel. The barrel stays cold. The zero stays true. In internal testing, this exact system produced a 0.06-inch 3-shot group at 100 yards. That is not a misprint. The second is the 3DHEX recoil pad. Forget rubber pads that simply compress and hammer your shoulder. The 3DHEX is a geometric lattice structure. Under recoil, its 3-dimensional voids collapse sequentially, distributing the force over time instead of delivering it all at once. Combined with the AccuBrake ST cutting felt recoil by 53%, this platform makes Magnum cartridges genuinely shootable in a 5.6-pound rifle. The deal breaker. That AccuBrake ST is extraordinarily loud. On an open range it is manageable. in a narrow canyon or a blind without ear protection. A single shot will remind you exactly what 5.6 pounds of .300 Weatherby Magnum actually sounds like. The bolt throws 54 degrees, the shortest in the entire industry. Your knuckles never touch your scope. Your eye never leaves the target. $3,049 for the carbon, $3,599 for titanium. Both are worth every dollar. Number 3. Every bolt-action rifle ever built asks the same thing of its shooter. At the moment of truth, after the trigger breaks, lift your hand, rotate the bolt, pull back, push forward, rotate again, close. 4 separate gross motor movements. 4 separate opportunities to lose your sight picture, lose your cheek weld, lose the target. Savage looked at that problem and eliminated it entirely. The Impulse Mountain Hunter runs a straight pull action. 1 fluid rearward stroke, 1 forward stroke. The bolt is back, a fresh round is chambered, and your eye never left the reticle. On a follow-up shot across a windy canyon on a wounded deer, that mechanical advantage is not a luxury. It is the difference between a clean recovery and a long tracking job in the dark. The locking system that makes this possible is built around hardened steel ball bearings housed inside the bolt head. Push the handle forward and an internal mandrel drives those bearings outward into a recessed ring machined into the receiver. Chamber pressure during firing actually wedges them tighter. The lockup is as strong as any rotating lug system on this list. Mated to that action is a Proof Research carbon fiber wrapped stainless steel barrel. Proof Research is the undisputed industry standard in carbon barrel manufacturing. The receiver itself comes with an integral 20-minute of angle Picatinny rail already machined in. Your optic has every elevation adjustment it needs to reach out past 800 yards without bottoming out the erector tube. The deal breaker. At 7.14 to 7.39 pounds, the Impulse Mountain Hunter is the heaviest rifle on this list. If your season means miles of vertical terrain on your back, that weight will speak to you loudly by mile 3. But if speed of follow-up is your priority, $2,437 buys you a mechanical advantage that no traditional bolt gun can match. Number 2. There is a moment on every serious mountain hunt where the weight on your back stops being a number on a scale and starts being a conversation your body is having with your legs. At mile 6 at 11,000 feet, every ounce you save at the trailhead becomes a decision you are grateful you made. The Christensen Arms Ridgeline Flash Forged starts at $2,400 for the stainless action. $3,300 for titanium. At 5.3 pounds, it is the lightest hunting rifle on this list. And it did not get there by compromising anything structural. The secret is flash forged technology. Traditional carbon fiber stocks rely on foam cores for shape and volume, with carbon acting as a stiff outer shell. Christensen Arms threw that entire methodology away. Flash-forged technology uses omnidirectional compression molding to align load-bearing carbon threads specifically along the axis of recoil. The result is a true monocoque shell. No foam core, no internal voids, no flex under bipod load. The stock weighs 20 ounces. 20 ounces for a full-size Magnum rifle stock that absorbs recoil with the structural integrity of something twice its weight. The ignition system runs a 32-pound firing pin spring. Most custom actions use springs as light as 18 pounds to achieve a feather-light bolt lift. Christensen made the opposite choice deliberately. A heavier spring means faster lock time. Faster lock time means the firing pin strikes the primer before your heartbeat, your breathing, or an involuntary flinch can move that rifle off target. At 500 yards, lock time is not a theoretical advantage. It is a measurable one, the deal breaker. That 32-pound spring makes the bolt lift noticeably heavier than most custom actions. If you have handled ultralight competition bolts, the Ridgeline Flash Forge will feel different in your hand. At 5.3 pounds with sub-minute of angle accuracy, $2,400 is an extraordinary value for a mountain rifle. Number 1. There is a standard that separates a good rifle from a great one. A good rifle shoots well when conditions are perfect. A great rifle shoots well when conditions are trying to destroy it. After 3 shots in freezing wind. After a barrel that has been cooking in direct sunlight for 40 minutes. After the 4th consecutive round downrange when every other ultralight carbon barrel on the market has already started walking its point of impact across the target. The Bergara Premier Cima Pro was built specifically for that moment. At $3,099, the Cima Pro weighs between 5.5 and 5.75 pounds depending on action length. It carries like a mountain rifle. It shoots like a bench gun. And the engineering reason for that contradiction lives inside the barrel. Bergara calls it the Cure Carbon Barrel. Every other carbon-wrapped barrel on this list solves the heat problem by creating air gaps or using mechanical tension to separate the fiber from the steel. The Cure system takes a fundamentally different approach. Microscopic stainless steel strands are embedded directly into the carbon weave itself. Those strands act as a continuous thermal conduit, pulling heat away from the chamber and bore and dissipating it into the surrounding atmosphere in real time. The barrel does not accumulate heat the way conventional carbon barrels do. Your 3rd shot lands where your 1st shot landed. Your 4th shot lands where your 3rd shot landed. In field testing with a 20-inch barrel chambered in .308 Winchester, the Cima Pro printed 2 consecutive 3-shot groups under ½ an inch at 100 yards using Hornady 125-grain ECX ammunition. That is not a guarantee printed in a brochure. That is a result Bergara replicates on every single Premier rifle before it leaves the factory floor. The action is the Premier Gen 2. Precision machined from 416R stainless steel and finished in Cerakote for absolute environmental resistance. The receiver accepts a Remington 700 pattern scope base on heavy-duty 8x40 screws, a mounting interface significantly more robust than the industry standard 6x48 specification. The bolt features a floating head design that self-centers against the receiver abutments on every single cycling stroke, eliminating the microscopic concentricity variations that degrade long-range consistency in lesser actions. The fire control system is a TriggerTech unit with frictionless release technology. No creep, no over-travel. A break so clean it feels like the rifle decided to fire on its own. Short-action calibers receive a 20-inch barrel. Magnum calibers receive 22 inches. Twist rates are optimized for heavy high ballistic coefficient projectiles. 1 in 8 for the 7mm PRC, 1 in 10 for the 300 PRC and 300 Winchester Magnum. The muzzle is threaded and fitted with Bergara's ST2 side port brake to manage the recoil impulse of a 5.5-pound Magnum rifle without destroying your ability to call your shot. This is not the most expensive rifle on this list. It is the most complete one. The one that solves every problem the mountain can throw at a precision hunting platform simultaneously. Weight, thermal stability, action tolerance, trigger quality, accuracy guarantee backed by individual factory verification. $3,099, 1 rifle, 0 compromises. Five rifles, 5 different answers to the same fundamental question. How far can you reach? How light can you carry? And how certain can you be when the moment arrives and there is no second chance? The Browning X-Bolt 2-speed proves that $1,559 can buy genuine long-range precision if you are willing to carry the weight. The Weatherby Mark V Backcountry 2.0 Carbon proves that magnum power and ultralight construction are no longer mutually exclusive. The Savage Impulse Mountain Hunter proves that a century of bolt-action tradition can be dismantled and rebuilt faster without sacrificing a single pound of structural integrity. The Christensen Arms Ridgeline Flash Forged proves that 5.3 pounds can carry the same authority as a rifle twice its mass. And the Bergara Premier Cima Pro proves that sub-minute of angle accuracy is not a feature reserved for custom shop rifles costing $10,000. It is a factory guarantee, verified on every single rifle, waiting for the hunter who refuses to accept anything less. The 2026 deer season does not care how much you paid. It does not care how many rounds you fired at the range. It only cares about one thing: the single moment when the wind drops, the animal steps into the clear, and everything you prepared comes down to one trigger pull. Be ready. If this list helped you make that decision, you know what to do. Hit subscribe. Leave your caliber of choice down in the comments. And if you have put rounds through any of these platforms in the field, tell us what you found. The serious hunters in this community are always listening. Now go prepare. August is closer than you think.